Have you ever been trying to get onto your favorite website and it's just down, gone? Well, sometimes it's not a glitch, it's an attack. Today, we're talking about DDoS attacks, a digital siege that can knock even the biggest players offline. Let's get into it. So, to kick things off, here's a bit of a riddle for you. What could a busy, real-world coffee shop possibly have in common with a giant website? The answer, believe it or not, is the key to understanding this entire thing. All right, part one, overwhelming the system. Now, you'd think that for any business, online or off, more visitors is always a good thing, right? Well, it turns out that's not always the case. I want you to picture this. You're at your favorite coffee spot. Suddenly, 1,000 people pour in through the doors. But here's the weird part. None of them are ordering. They're just standing there, clogging the aisles, blocking the counter, jamming up the entrance. The real customers, the folks who actually want to buy a latte, they can't even get inside. The whole business just grinds to a complete halt. This is such a crucial point to understand. A DDoS attack is not a normal hack. A traditional hacker is like a burglar. They're trying to find a weak spot, an open window, to get inside and steal your stuff. A DDoS attack, that's more like creating a 100-car pileup right on your driveway. The goal isn't theft, it's just pure, simple chaos. It's about denying service. And that brings us to the official definition. A distributed denial of service, or DDoS, attack is exactly what we just described in that coffee shop. It's when an attacker just drowns a website or a server with a massive flood of bogus internet traffic. The servers get so overwhelmed trying to deal with all the noise that it just gives up, and in the process, it locks out all the legitimate users. So the big question is, how in the world does one person create that much chaos? A digital mob that big? Well, that brings us to our next part, the hacker's zombie army. And seriously, just think about the scale here. We're talking about websites and online services that are built to handle millions of users every single day. How could a single attacker, or even a small group, possibly generate enough traffic to overwhelm something that massive? Well, they don't do it by themselves. The secret weapon is something called a botnet. And yeah, it's just as sinister as it sounds. A botnet is a huge network of hijacked devices. We're talking about thousands, maybe millions, of regular computers, smartphones, even your smart toaster or security camera. They've all been secretly infected with malicious software. And the owners? They have absolutely no clue that their devices are now part of a remote-controlled army. And this is why it's so often called a zombie army. Because with a single command, an attacker can get thousands upon thousands of these infected zombie computers to all turn and attack the exact same target at the exact same time. That coordinated flood of traffic is what creates the digital siege. It's pretty terrifying when you think about it. So what makes this zombie army so darn hard to stop? Well, for starters, the attack is distributed. That traffic isn't coming from one place, it's coming from thousands of different IP addresses all over the globe. You can't just block one source. It's also incredibly stealthy since the people who own the devices don't even know they're participating. And finally, these attacks can be relentless. They can be persistent, lasting for hours or even days.
Okay, so that sounds pretty bleak, but it's not a hopeless situation. There's a constant battle being waged, and there are some really clever ways to fight back. So let's talk about building a digital defense and how you can actually withstand the siege. Defending against a DDoS attack is all about layers. The first and biggest layer is traffic filtering. You use services like a content delivery network or CDN, which acts like a giant smart bouncer at the door, soaking up all the fake traffic before it even gets close to your server. Second, you can use something called rate limiting, which basically just restricts how many requests any single source can make in a short time. And third, just good old-fashioned maintenance. Keeping your hardware and software updated helps it automatically spot and block the signature of these attacks. And look at that, we've come full circle. All of these defenses, all this technology, it's all aimed at one very simple goal: to make sure that your digital front door stays open for the real customers, for your legitimate users, no matter what kind of chaos is happening outside.
So we'll leave you with this final thought. This is a constant arms race. As our digital walls get higher and our defenses get smarter, the attackers are always working on new ways to build bigger zombie armies and launch even stronger attacks. It really makes you wonder, in this ongoing world of digital sieges, just how strong